Okay, it's going to be a quick direct upload video talking about, I guess, future plans that WWE sort of has. Past couple weeks of Raw hasn't seemed to really lay out much for Hell in a Cell, considering if you look at the WWE subscription thing for the network, this is really the time that you really want to put good stuff on pay-per-view to make people subscribe for another 6 months. Me not being one of them. but yeah, I think Brock Lesnar is obviously not going to be wrestling on this month's pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell, which is about 3 weeks away, maybe 3 or 4 weeks away. Yeah, 5-week build. It's been 2 weeks, so 3 weeks away. And I guess their main people to really focus on now, since Roman Reigns is gone, Daniel Bryan's gone, Brock Lesnar's gone, and you got Cena, Ambrose, Rollins, or Norton. Those are your top 4 guys for the next pay-per-view. And Randy Orton and John Cena, you can only do so much with those guys, so I guess you're going to intermingle them, and you're going to have a Cena versus Ambrose match, which I think is going to happen sooner or later. It seems like that's what they're building to, which can potentially be a great match, but giving it away on Raw, I think, which is what they're going to do, it's not a money-making thing. I'm sure, because, I don't know, Cena's always going to be John Cena. Ambrose is going to be that next guy who I think is going to kind of take Roman Reigns' spot as a top babyface on Raw, and just giving their match away for free, really, on TV. Doesn't seem very effective, if you ask me. Obviously, they're going to have to collide sooner or later because just the talent pool is just so thin. And to think, maybe WrestleMania time, they were stacked. You had Reigns, you had the Shield all together, the Wyatts were strong, and the Wyatts kind of fallen off the radar now. You had Jericho come back for a little while, and he's gone now. And now you're just few months later, less than a year later, and you're back to square one where you relied on the same guys, and Reigns is gone now, but it's going to be John Cena versus Ambrose. Winner faces Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell, most likely in the Cell match, and honestly, I had no idea that was the way they were going. I thought they were going to do at least a John Cena Brock Lesnar payoff at that pay-per-view. If you really want to throw Seth Rollins in there, then you throw him in there, make it a triple threat match, but the way they set up Night of Champions, I thought your top 2 matches, which would have been fine. I would have loved to see Brock and Cena, Hell in a Cell. No one interferes, no one done this. Clean, someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. That's for the title, that's your main event. And your second semi-main event, Ambrose versus Rollins, Hell in a Cell. No one can interfere, no one can escape. That's what I thought they were building up to, but Brock Lesnar, being the big money man that he is, I guess WWE doesn't want to pay him whatever the price is to have him show up. So Brock's off the pay-per-view, which I'm fine with also, because I just made a video saying that Brock shouldn't be on every pay-per-view, but Hell in a Cell is one of those things that it's to blow off a feud. And to think Brock's going to come back and probably face Cena one more time down the road just doesn't make sense. You should have just had all 3 back-to-back. Then Cena's feud is done with. You don't go back to it. You start a new, fresh feud. Because now Cena's going to be with, probably face, what's his name? Probably face Rollins, I would imagine. But then again, Ambrose could win. And then you're probably going to get a John Cena and Randy Orton match, which we've seen a million times already, and probably about 100,000 times on a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. But just doesn't seem like their direction is really in a straight line right now. It seems like they're all over the place. You have 3 Diva matches on Raw. You had your main focus being those 4 guys that I mentioned. You have Corporate Kane in there, which just shows how light they really are when it comes to heels and baby faces, that you need a guy to take off his mask and put his mask back on to go from heel to a baby face, to wrestle and then not wrestle for a few months. It's really sad, to be quite honest. And all those guys in NXT, I guess you can say some of them are ready to come up, but you don't want to rush them and end up with an Adam Rose or a Bo Dallas, which I'm sure the Ascension's going to end up just like them, because looking at them, I saw them on NXT this past week. I don't know, just doesn't seem like they would make it on the big time. And maybe I'm going to be eating my words in a few months or a few years, but looking at them now, it just seems like a lot of these NXT guys really don't make it very far unless they're just shoved right in the main event. Because building them up from the bottom, they just win and then they lose, and then no one cares about them. But that's all. A little short, rant video. But see you guys in the next one.